My father was supposed to live forever. And I'm not one of those people that, I'm not delusional. I know there's always an ending to life, but my father was a hero to me. And I grew up watching the Rocky movies. And every single Rocky movie I watched, Rocky always got beat down, but he always got back up. And that's what I saw my father do. I watched him get beat down. I watched him go through trials. I watched him go through tribulations, but I always watched him get back up. He was supposed to live forever. That's what heroes do. They never die. They stay with you. He told me stories back in 1984, a few years after he started the Woodson Center, that he had no money to pay his staff, no money to pay his mortgage. He didn't want to tell my mother and burden her with anything. So he didn't say a word. He kept it to himself. I said, Dad, what did you do? He said, I got on my hands and knees and prayed to God. I said, well, what happened next? True story. He said the very next day, I opened up the mail and there was a credit card that had $50,000 credit limit, a cash advance. He said, I paid off everything. I paid my staff. I paid my mortgage. I never told my wife a single thing. He said, you never want to burden your wife. You carry those to yourself and you take care of your family. My family and I were down Costa Rica, I want to say 2 years ago, and my father was walking. We were all walking back to his room, and he just fell. I had never seen my father fall ever. My sister and I picked him up, and we were walking him back to his room. He couldn't hold himself up. I have no idea what happened to him. We walked him back to his room, and this is my hero I just saw fall. He said, I have to be on Fox News in 7 minutes. That's all he said. We literally laid in bed with him and said, no, we have to cancel. My mother, my sister, we all pleaded with him, no, please, no. You know what he said? No, I'm fine. And he got on Fox News on his laptop, and we watched it live, and he spit every fact and every single detail of everything that we've all seen him do, and it was amazing. I watched so many times where the news would come on during the COVID years and say, you know what, if you're elderly and you catch COVID, you are probably not gonna make it. My father got COVID 2 times. He called me on the phone and said, I'm nervous, I got COVID. I actually laughed. I said, nothing is going to happen to you. You're supposed to live forever. There was never a time I ever once questioned anything. My father read a lot of scriptures. One of the scriptures he read was 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 10. And I can't quote it verbatim, but I know God teaches us that whatever gifts he gives, that you're supposed to give other people. And that's exactly what my father did. I listened to Reverend Peterson up there say, my father had conviction, compassion, and the love he gave. And that's exactly what my father did. He took everything that he knew and gave it to other people. He believed in neighborhoods with no hope. He believed in people before they believed in themselves. And he would see someone and not only teach them what to do, but he would walk the lines with them. I've watched my father on TV with world leaders, with Paul Ryan, President Bush, President Trump, Mike Pence, Ronald Reagan, Nixon. I've seen him on Oprah Winfrey. I was with him on Dr. Phil, sitting in the crowd. And then the same exact day, I would see him sitting in the neighborhood stoop with the people that he called the Josephs of the world. And he had a great way of never separating the boardrooms from the people on the street. He had a great way of bridging everyone together. He would bring what he knew in the voices from the street to the halls of the power. And he would let the powerful know exactly what they're missing out from the people on the street. He had the great way of bridging every single gap together. My father was supposed to live forever. He wasn't just my hero, he was everyone's hero. I watched the way my father loved my mother. I watched the way he loved my sister. I watched the way he loved his grandchildren. And I take that same power and I hope that I can walk the same lines that he did. I hope that I can give back the way he did. And every time I see someone giving back, and one of his biggest things is, everyone always heard him say, don't be a victim of your circumstance. Every time I watch the news and I see someone not be a victim of their circumstance, I know that's my father speaking. I know that his voice will live forever. I just hope that we can all do and carry on his legacy through the Woodson Center, through Voices of Black Mothers United, through everything that he's ever preached. I never want this to end, because my father was supposed to live forever. Thank you.